My name is Major James J. Kelly. I'm really concerned about my welfare and having it taken care of by my son, Thomas Kelly. And also seeing that he takes care of my wife. And this is by choice, Your Honor, because in the past, Thomas has not been a burden and has not taken me down into any deep things. Everything I did for my son, which was everything, where people call him my little Jesus, because I supported him in all of his efforts. Your Honor, I am now approaching you because I have a stepdaughter, Miss Eva Mae Johnson, Jones, I think it is. And she is trying to get hold of my estate and her mother's. Yet she has not made any efforts to support or put anything into the bucket to take care of me or my wife. I'm an elderly man, as you see. I'm in my 90s. And things are now going all right. By the way, sir, I am also a retired major. I'm a fighter pilot. I'm one of the Tuskegee Airmen, black pilots of World War II. And I have now arrived as being an honored individual. I don't know if I did anything spectacular, but I have 2 kills in the air battle situation, enemy versus me. And I now seek forth to stop any action by Mrs. Eva Mae Jones, which is my stepdaughter, because she's trying to get me into hers or take into my estate, and to get my wife. I don't think that it's all from her heart that she's doing it. She's never done anything. And everything that she has, sir, I hate to say this, but it is mine. I supported her and her husband and my grandchildren that she has. I did, out of my own money. And I do not think that it's right that my daughter or my stepdaughter should be given the rights or given the fact to give me, to take care of me. My welfare should go to my son, who has honestly made every effort to see that my needs are met. I didn't have to ask him. That's what I'm looking for. I have 2 girls, and neither one has done anything, not anything. My daughter, Eva Jones, my stepdaughter, rather, I gave her an education, I gave her cars, I gave her everything. And she has not done anything toward my welfare, toward her mother's welfare. I understand it. I believe it's that she's not only trying to get my estate, but she's trying to get her mother. It seems like she's doing things a little too late now. Her mother's 89 years of age, and she hadn't done anything the whole time. She never came up with anything whatsoever until right now, while I have, where the chair has come from under me. In my old age and my retirement, she's trying to move in and take care of my welfare. On the other side of the tree, son, is my son. Your Honor, my son has never pressured me. He's never done anything whatsoever to tell me, Daddy, when you get old and fall down or this or that, I'm gonna do this or do that. My daughter has always bent toward that. She's always snapping to take charge, but she hasn't given us anything. Stepdaughter, who was getting $20 per month from her daddy for her and her mother. And I stepped in and made sure that he would increase it, which he really didn't. He went to $30, and eventually, very shortly after, her mother, which is my wife today, joined me. We married each other. And I started, from that time on, Your Honor, I gave her every year, started her year out with 7 dresses for the first week that she go to school. And I must admit, I admired her. She was a nice young lady growing up. But since she has arrived in her, she's been married and etc., she has turned around and wanted everything. I think that, in fact, I'm to tell you the truth, Your Honor, she sued me, her and her husband. We had a little, I made a mistake and bumped into the car once, and they took me to the insurance company. Now, I'm the father and and her stepdaddy, and I guess you'd call me the father for the son, for her husband. But what has happened is that I don't know whether she poisoned his mind. He did admire me at one time, and we got along. After that, every year, I provided her, after sending her to school, getting her graduated from school and everything, giving her a big wedding. All of this was money, Your Honor. This was love. I didn't count the dollars. And I felt that this was my daughter. Her daddy, if you recall, was giving her and our mama, I believe, $20 or $30 a month. And I stepped in to the Red Cross and the Army to increase that. When I met them in Panama City, Florida, I was the only black officer there and the only fighter pilot there that was black. And I became involved with them, and eventually I fell in love with my wife today, her mother. And I'm asking you, I'm telling you, Your Honor, I have 3 degrees. And I have my son, who, if anything happens to me, he will pick up the tide and run with it, the ball and run with it. I do not want her attitude and her desires now is to go at my estate and etc. I have about $4 million in war bonds and about $900,000 in cash in the bank. And I would like very much so, if anything happens, with the attitude that she and my baby daughter, Cheryl, I do not want, under no circumstances, for them to have any control whatsoever over my estate. If anything happens, I would prefer that my son take over for his mama and me. It's up to you, Your Honor, to say this, but I do not want, under no circumstance, she has the wrong attitude and thinks she deserves something when she hasn't done anything. She has had cars, education, all at my expense. Big wedding. And I'd like to say to you, Your Honor, asking you, as an old man in his 90s, I do not want, under no circumstance, for her to have my estate or her mother's. However, I have no control over her mother. If she wants to let her have her portion, which is nothing, then let her do so. But as it stands, I would like to see both of our estates to go to them, to my wife, Mrs. Sally Kelly. At this time, I'd rather terminate this and wait for you and the Lord to take action. Thank you, Your Honor. You preparing for that recovery. I don't want Eva to have anything. I want to indicate that my daughters have gotten together and decided that they want to do it. Neither daughter is really my daughter by birth. And I'll just let them know. So, I don't have to say nothing about it.
Yeah.
I let them know, I let them know that for years down the road, I gave everything to him. And all of a sudden, now that I have a dime or two, she's decided that she wants it. She's forgotten that I gave all of my giving was during the time of her growing up and her marriage and her family. In the family, I did nothing but give. And now all of a sudden, now that I'm down, I'm in a situation where I really need help, some guidance, things to get around. She has not one time offered to say, Daddy, I'll take you to a lawyer. I'll take you here or there. What she's doing is I want guardianship. So I can, now that I have a dime or two, Your Honor, you got a judge or somebody that's gonna read this?
Yeah, your attorney is Brooke Ivory.
Okay. So you got, now that I'm up in old age, my health is going away. My daughter's deciding that she wants to rule over my estate. Yet during all of my climb up to the position I have, a good living She rode along on my expenses. And I took care of her and her family, not just, but her and her family, her and her children. And her husband. I took care of her husband. I'm telling you what I did. I paid money out, borrowed money. That boy died, he owed me about $7,000. That's a lot of money, really.
Why he owed you $7,000?
Well, he borrowed it. I don't know what he did with it. He borrowed it. He borrowed $3,000 one time. 2,000, then 2,000. Now, I didn't ask William what he was doing with his money. Then he come and said, Pops, you know, just like you. He said, Pops, I need so and such. I might have asked you, might have said, well, Thompson, where were you? But I wouldn't if you said, Daddy, if you come to me with a good reason, why shouldn't I let you have it? Huh? You understand me? Why shouldn't I? That's my son-in-law. You're my son. If you come, like I bought you all of them, I bought you 10 cars, Thomas. Don't you remember that?
Yeah.
I didn't have to buy you 10 cars. I could buy you one car and say, hell, that's it for it. Let it go. From there, you keep that car for 10 years. But we didn't. And things like that goes, you know, it goes over. I don't know why I wasn't trying to buy your love. I was trying to show you I loved you. And that I saw white kids doing things, having things, and my son not have them. Let me tell you, Thomas, I gave you. You might not believe it, but I gave you because I loved you so much. And I did not, whatever you said you want. And in your school, if the principal or the teacher tell you, that's where it came from, that you was my little Jesus. I gave you everything. People knew it. I'm not telling you this now to say, well, love me. It's up to you in your heart. If you believe it, you ought to look back and see, I really had this. I really had that. Your daddy did it. Your mama didn't have no money. Your mama didn't even ever come up and say, look, we ought to get Thomas this. Mama didn't. She loved you, don't get me wrong. But she never came up and said, well, she did when you were a baby. So I got, when you were a baby, she just, so that's the reason I told you owe that to her to take care of her. You know I love you, Thomas. I can tell you right now, there was no ifs and ands. The kids got in and I said, oh, well, don't worry about him. He'll be all right. You had when nobody's ever kids had. You had. Because I was not going to let you be that. And I'll tell you, I did it selfishly. Because, Thomas, I saw white kids your age. I saw white kids your age. And I was not going to let my son not have me. And you old there, and when I did give them to you, you went straight through the ceiling. So you knew it was, and I knew then that you loved me, anything. I'll always remember those things. I remember that. I didn't want you to be without nothing. I guess that was selfish on my part. But I was able and I could afford to give you all the love and work. You were my son. You didn't have to do nothing to earn it from me. Not a thing. You showed love to me. I said, come on, man, you come around and hug your daddy. You hugged me so tight that I knew then that you loved me, son. I knew that. Long when you were 3, 4 years old, son. You loved your daddy. And I'll never forget it. I go back to those years, boy. And when you were a baby, you proved it. You know what you used to do? You used to jump out of your crib into the bed. Somebody hit me, I got damn. What the hell is the roof falling in? No, my son was wrong. But you was showing your love. That's why you that damn y'all, I thought you gonna break your goddamn legs or something. But you did that when you were a baby, boy. And all it said, so, oh my God, what is, move over, Kelly. Kelly, move over so I can get in. Goddamn, that's the first thing she hollered. Don't you ever remember, boy, that your mama loved you so much. Loved you so much. I don't know what she's doing now, but I know then that she loved you. I don't know whether love is referred back to Eva or what she's, well, Eva's her blood. You're not. But that's not the truth. I think it's in her heart that she loves you. I think that she's just, her mind may. She might not think, but her mind. But that's her mom. That's the way it's got to be. It's got to be that way. If the Lord tells her mind to go bad on her, is her mind bad, Thomas?
Yeah, Dad.
It is?
Yes, sir.
Well, maybe that's the reason she doesn't express love for you now like she used to. Because she used to goddamn eat your ass up. It make me jealous. Because I'm a man and I just, but I didn't do you like she did. She just, right there. I don't know what's in, and it bothers me now. I start crying. It bothers me now that she don't express love to me. And I need it. I need it now, Thomas, because I'm sick. I need her to show an expression of love for me, but she hasn't been able to do it. And that doesn't do it. But I know that the Lord means for her to love me. I think. I don't know. What do you think, son?
She loves you, Dad.
You think so?
Yeah, she was asking about you, too. Okay. I'll bring her back up here in the morning.
All right. Well, I need. I don't want Cheryl or Eva to have a damn dime. Not 10 cents of my estate. That means the banks, the houses, none of that. They're all to go to my son. He's been dedicated and devoted to me. And really, he didn't have to be. Because if he had remembered, though, he had to remember, and that's what I think that he had to remember that his daddy was devoted to him. His daddy gave him everything. I gave Thomas 10 cars. I gave Thomas all the love that any daddy could do. His mother used to run up and down the line on the football field. I'll always remember calling, get off of my baby. When he was in football, he was a football star. And that God blessed me with a son who was good in everything that he did. Everything. I'm not trying to brag about it, but I can because it was there. And I want him to always remember, as long as I live, I loved him. I did the best I could with what I had to keep him at the top. I tried so much. I bought my son 10 cars. How many idiots of a daddy could be? They weren't all new, but there were no jams. He never had a wreck. He never had a wreck. I brought him, actually, I was something he was proud to ride around in. And I always remember that. He showed me that he loved it. He loved me. And I don't know whether he loved me because I give him cars or not. but he showed me that he appreciated it. And that's what I was looking for. Show me that you like what I'm doing. Show me that. And he did. So far in my life, Thomas has never made me say that I can remember. He may have now, I'm not saying he's perfect, but I don't remember him ever making me say. Maybe sad he didn't win football, but not sad about doing something that he intentionally did to make me sad. I've been proud of it. And when I shut my eyes, I hope I still am proud of it. And if I died today or tomorrow, I want every dime of my estate to go to my son. Every dime. I don't know how his mother feels. I can't control her because whatever she has, I gave it to her. And therefore, I can't control it. I'm hoping that she makes the same move that I made. Because in our days of need, if we had any, we always went to our son. I have not yet, I can't recall, I'm not saying, but I cannot recall where either one of my daughters have ever done anything to enlighten me. Now, I'm not saying it wouldn't have, and Eva is my stepdaughter, and Shirley is my daughter by adoption. So personally, I'm a little sorry that I didn't give birth to any. I didn't have anything to do with either one of them being, but maybe that's the reason that they have not shown up in front and said, Daddy, I love you for all that you've done for me and this and that. But neither daughter has come forward to prove, after all these years of love and caring that I did for them, neither one has shown me that they really love me. That's all right. You see, my Heavenly Father knows, and I haven't suffered enough. I'm a retired major, and I got a few things. As far as my estate goes, I want my entire estate to be donated to my son, Thomas Edward Kelly. I do not want any of my money, any of my estate, to go to either one of my daughters. They have shown me, since I've been down in this situation as I am now, they have shown me that they don't give a damn about me or my health. But they are interested in my estate. There's $4 million in bonds and $900,000 in cash. And possibly there will be more in cash. But it's all is go to Thomas Edward Kelly. Because Thomas got to take care of me and his mother, Sally. I do not want to, and I do not agree with Eva taking her mother, who is Sally. I admit Sally is her natural mother. And my marriage was the rescue point for the both of them. But they were receiving between $20 and $30 a month from her daddy, Leroy Johnson. He became married to another lady. And forsaken Sally and Eve. And I think when he went into service, that's how I became part of that family, was because I became a part through just by accident, meeting Sally in a taxi cab. And her sister, Isabel, became enthused with the fact that I was interested in her sister. And she wanted me to introduce me to her sister. And true enough, Sally was a very attractive young lady. And she had this young daughter, but she had been married to this man, Leroy Johnson. He was giving them, I think it was $20 rather than $30 a month, and that was all. And I went to the Red Cross and the United States Army because that was not a sufficient amount of money to take care of a wife and a daughter. In doing so, our relationship became close. She divorced Leroy, or he divorced her. I don't know which way. I can't remember now what it was. But when they did, I stepped into the picture and married her. And along came Eva. I had no idea that my stepdaughter, Eva Mae Johnson, would be the type of individual she became. She did not really feel good, I guess, or she did during the first part, but after that it all went down. She did not feel that I did not feel that she really enjoyed me being her stepdad. However, this went into many, many years. I don't know how many years. Sally and I are still married. Whatever Sally has. Because what Sally has is really comes from me. And I do not want that to go to Eve. I don't think that the law will take away from me my money, because my wife has not worked in 20 years or more. She really has nothing. Everything she has, I gave it to her, which is much more. I bought her between 10 and 14 cars for her alone. I've given her everything she has. And it would be a shame and an injustice if under any law that you would jerk away anything that I have to give it to her now if it came It's time for her to realize that she has nothing, no estate. She's living on me and me alone. And she has never worked. Well, I'll take that back. She was working at a 5 and 10 cent store. But that income was so small, it didn't matter. She never really in to buy anything in the household. So all of our household goods were from me and from my efforts. I'm a retired field grade officer, and therefore that is where it now stands. I am in retirement. I still am married to my wife, and I do not, under no circumstances, and I certainly do not want to waste money defending myself when the law, if it's on the right side, realize that after all these years of marriage, I should not have to go through somebody taking my money. I will decide. My estate, Sally's estate, is part of my estate because Sally has not put anything, not one dime, into our survival. And with that, I say to any court, any law, thank God that I'm able to take care of our state. All of my state I want to be kept where I can decide who I want to give it to. And as it stands right now as it stands, my son deserves every dime of my estate. And if I fall down, I fall dead right now, I want it to go to him. He will take care of his mama, and I know it. That's where his heart lays. So I'm not worrying about that. I'm not going to preach on that subject. I want to preach on the fact that I want my estate to go to him and the 2 girls to go for themselves. I have nothing for them. They haven't given me nothing. They haven't done anything for me. Under no circumstance. I don't recall anything of value that they've given me. They don't even give me love. They don't give me grace. And I feel with that, why should I leave them anything? And I hope and pray that the good Lord will tell whatever authorities there are to dedicate who was to control my estate that I leave if I died today or tomorrow. I want Thomas E. Kelly. I want him to be the receiver. And I think that the Lord, I ask the Lord to bless me and my son, and that all of it go to him, all of this thing, and that if my wife is alive, I say this, that he will take care of his mother. My wife is an elderly lady, and that is the only reason I have not said give her a certain. But I do not want to take the chance that my daughter, my stepdaughter, and another daughter would be there to receive it when they've done nothing. I've laid in the hospital for weeks and months, and neither daughter has come to see me. But that's all right. I know, and all of you who are listening to this dedication, all of you know it is not right Why should I give anything to you? Neither one has come to see me. I lay on my back for weeks at a time, and I have not seen my stepdaughter or my daughter. And I say this to you, to the authorities, legal authorities. I do not, under no reason, under no care, do I want either major